Hello and welcome to ChinnyVision. Oh no, not another water skiing game. I joke, of course, there's not many water skiing games for the home computers, which is why I was surprised when I was reading Computer and Video Games back in November 1987 to see a review of a water skiing game with some really lush graphics that was for the Amstrad CPC. CMVG gave it quite a good review, some really nice ratings for the graphics, which looked superb. And I thought to myself, this game looks really exciting. Look how nice the graphics are. It wasn't a game that you saw in the shops or saw any advertising for. It was by Infogrames, the French software house, so evidently it was produced for the French market where the CPC was the number one home computer and there were no need to do ports to other computers, and perhaps they just decided to sell it into the UK just to sell a few extra copies. Fast forward a few years, and one Sunday afternoon, early 90s it must have been, I was in the market on South Sea Pier near Portsmouth, where there used to be a market on a Sunday, and there used to be a computer games stall there, and he used to sell cheap games, no pirated stuff, it was all legit. One of the games I saw was a game called Championship Waterski Challenge. That name rang a bell, and looking at the back, so did the screenshots. So I grabbed the game, took it home, and lo and behold, it was that game I'd seen probably 4 years earlier in Computer and Video Games. So we're loading up that very tape now. And one of the things that confused me at the time was, who was this lady on the loading screen? Now, French people are going to be screaming at me at this point. Indeed, Waterski fans are going to be screaming at me, because I thought, well, there's a lady here, a glamorous lady. Who's this on the water skis here? It must be just a nice loading screen. Perhaps it's Patrice Martin is the name of the programmer. Fair enough, because it's not called this. It's called Championship Waterski Challenge. Now, with the advent of the internet, I now know that this, in fact, lady isn't a lady. It's a man. And he's Patrice Martin, a championship waterski person from France. And in fact, I was accused of trolling on Twitter when I said that was a lady, because somebody found it so incredulous that I thought that. But I showed the picture to other people and they said, actually, no, it does look like a lady on there. You're quite right. So obviously this game in France had been marketed under the name of Patrice Martin as his game. But because nobody in the UK would have known outside of waterski circles who he was, in the UK it was just sold as Championship Waterski Challenge. It was players who re-released this game, and that's what my copy comes from. And I've loaded this up on my CPC 464. First thing to do is put your name in. And those lush graphics we saw in the magazine, yep, they're all here. It's an event game, and there are only 3 events. So we can do 1, 2 or 3 players, and yeah, it's a multi-load. So I've skipped forward here, and we're going to do a ski jump, and off we go, and little arrows there, you've got to, I've fallen in. Use the joystick to control, first of all, how you approach the ramp, which is in a pseudo 3D there, and little arrows down there tell you when to press left and right. So don't press left, I'm going to press right now. Right, okay, I'm straight up. Now I've got to balance, and I don't want to fall in. I've fallen in again. Off we go again. No sound in this when you're actually playing the first level here. I've landed. So I've done 28.33 metres. Try again. No, hit the side of that. That's got to hurt. That's seriously... I'm surprised there's not blood in the water there. Oh, I've done it again. Ha. Let's see if I can do any better than that. At least want to try and get a high score. At least want to try and get on that high score table. Let's try again. Right, okay, off we go. Bouncing back and forth, just getting it right and down. How far was that? 39.5, just 1 metre off the high score table. Probably the best I'm going to do. Right, let's load in the other event. Right, and yeah, this is a bit of a pain. There's 3 events on the tape, and 2 of the events are on the B side, one of them's on the A side, and you're constantly fast forwarding and rewinding, and you've got no real idea where you are. until it finds something. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting the 464 away. I've got out the 6128. I'm going to play on disc instead. Incidentally, disc was the best-selling format in France, so the game would have always really been intended to be a predominantly a disc game, so the multi-load wouldn't have been a huge problem. Right, we loaded up again. I mean, while that ski jump was fun, there wasn't a lot to it. I like any event game, be it Epic's World of Sports, California Games, and the thing here is there's only 3 events. There's only so much you can do with a water ski. So let's go on to the second event. Loading it up. And this is the freestyle, so I'm behind the boat here and I can go move around, do different moves and try and get a high score. I've ended that there, right. And look at these graphics, these are really nice. You've got a window in a window here, and the lady's got the thing on her hair that's blowing back and forth, which is really nice. The thing is, the graphics on this game really hide the paper-thin gameplay. This isn't really so much a game as a technical demonstration, I guess. Just moving back and forth, different moves to do, and you get different moves depending on where in the wake of the boat you are as well. The manual details them, just spinning around there. Yeah, there's not much to this. Try again. Oh, no, I've fallen. You see a nice little animation there when you fall in. It's all very well presented. And apparently you could score 7,000 according to the high score table, but would you want to? Could you be bothered? The final event is the slalom. I'm just going to load that up now. And from memory, I'm no good at this. Lovely overlay there, and I love the way the graphics are just used in this game, and the CPC's palette's really nicely used. I've got to press delete to start. So you can practice before you start just by sitting behind the boat. It looks like the boat isn't moving, but with the animation, the colour cycling there gives an idea of movement. You've got to press delete to actually start the game. It's a slalom, so you've got to go between the different buoys. Right, here we go. So we go through the gate, and I've got to go over there and get round and right. No. You push upwards and downwards to either tighten or slacken the rope to the boat, and you go left and right. It's quite difficult to work out because in real life you'd have a feel for the tension of the lines of the boat and how the line's reacting and how you're reacting. In the game it's a little bit difficult to judge just when the tipping point is, and it's not much fun. It really isn't. It looks lovely. Oh, I got round there, Oh. Again, it's lovely animation. I'm sure with practice I could do it. Yeah, no. But to zigzag, I mean, it's like Waterski skiing, except with better graphics. There's no more. Once you've mastered that going around the buoy, there's no more to it. You'll do a different course, and that'll be that level, and then that's the game done. And then all you can do is go through the 3 events again. You can play it with friends. If you were trying to better each other's scores, as indeed from vague memory I did with my friends, then it's probably quite fun. But against the computer as a single player game, at full price, oh dear. You'd be pleased with the graphics. You show it off to your Spectrum and Commodore 64 owning friends and go, look at what my Amstrad could do. This isn't like your rubbish Spectrum ports. This isn't all brown like it'd be on a C64. Look at this vivid colour. These guys really know what they're doing. But, yeah, like so many games with brilliant graphics like Shadow of the Beast on the Amiga. Beyond the graphics, this thing is paper thin. So in terms of Championship Waterski Challenge, well, it's a paper thin game. As I was saying, there's 3 events. The graphics are lush. Load it up to look at the graphics and go, wow, this is how a CPC game should look. Isn't this wonderful? But there's, gameplay wise, there's only 3 events and that's it. And each event is quite short. The ski jump is the most fun. You can actually keep on improving on that and getting slightly better, but it's still not too much to it. The slalom, if you get the hang of it, it could be fun. The freestyle, really, there's absolutely nothing to it. It's pointless. What's the point? What's the point in a freestyle game? You're just doing different moves to get the most amount of points possible. There's no incentive to play it, and I guess that's the problem. Overall, it's a game that looks lush. It's a pity that the gameplay doesn't live up in any way to the graphics.